All right, welcome to the show, y'all. Hope everybody out there is having a great day. The revolution is continuing within the Democratic Party. People are absolutely fed up. They are done with Chuck Schumer's pathetic Jell-O spine weakness. So we have The View calling for him to step down. We have MSNBC calling for him to step down. Of course, we have Ro Khanna. It is wild to see. So I'm going to do a big breakdown of that on tomorrow's show for you. But today, I have a lot of stuff to get to as well. So in just a second, we have some new updates on the ICE Gestapo thugs and what they're doing. And it is somehow they find a way every day to go lower and lower and lower to the point where, I mean, this stuff is like, if I had told you on day one of Trump's presidency, this is how evil it would have gotten, you would have been like, come on, man. This is like beyond cartoon villain type stuff. If I wrote a fictional story and said that the bad guys were this bad, you would say, nah, that's too on the nose. That's too extreme. No bad guys are that bad, right? Just wait for it. So we'll talk about that. We have a bunch of MAGA freaks making this psychotic anti-Zoran AI video that I want to share with you. It's kind of hilarious, if not also embarrassing. We have the washed loser Joe Rogan is now smearing Zoran Mamdani. We have the well-known pervert Russell Brand rolling around naked on the ground with Alex Jones on camera, and they touch each other, and it gets freaky deaky. So we'll talk about that. And then later on, Sneeko leaves the red pill space, which is fascinating, and an amazing social experiment that was conducted on TikTok where this woman basically called up and asked if, her hungry baby could get some food from various churches and religious institutions. And many of them said, fuck off. Many of them said, fuck off. So apparently, a lot of churches are just one massive, colossal scam. We know that. I, as a well-known agnostic or atheist, I know that. You know that, but this might be a wake-up call to some people out there. So we'll talk about all that and more. You guys know the drill. Everybody please do me a big favor and subscribe to the channel. That helps out massively and costs you nothing at all. You could also support the show on Patreon. Remember, guys, this is real independent media. You'll never catch me having a conversation with an advertiser or doing some bullshit ad read in the middle of a 7-minute video or anything like that. And never talk to a billionaire, never talk to a government, never talk to a PAC. I mean, you guys really fund this show from the ground up, and we have the default ads on YouTube, and that's it. I'm very proud of that model that we've built here. So if you'd like to support the show, you can. The link is below on Patreon, or you can tip with that thanks button on YouTube as well. Subscribe to Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack. That link is below also. And go sub to the Corn's World YouTube channel, where we host live Kyle and Corn episodes every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right in, y'all. So let's start with this. This video is making the rounds, and it really just highlights the utter, wretched, vile, disgusting depravity of the thugs that are in ICE. So it's giving you a warning here. Fair warning. I'll give you a warning too. That what you're about to see is very disturbing to watch. But ICE was assaulting a man who was holding a baby. And the man went on to have a seizure. And they continued to assault him. Watch.
And I'm not touching the car. Leave me alone. Look what they're doing. He's sneezing. Stop. That's fine. Back up. This is my right. He's having a seizure. They're trying to rip the baby out of her hand. He's having a seizure. Back up. Oh my God, don't touch me. Pittsburgh, Massachusetts. This is what's going on. Back up there. No, stop yelling at her. Back up. Stop yelling at her because you feel insecure.
That's unbelievable. I'm going to play it one more time here. I'll mute it, but I'll play it in the background as I talk about it here. He's having a seizure. Look, his eyes are rolling in the back of his head. He's convulsing. He's holding the baby. Masked thug is trying to grab him or his baby and drag them out of the car as if they don't know what the fuck is going on here. They don't care what the fuck is going on here. Why do you think they're covering their faces? How many times have I told you this? The reason that these ICE Gestapo thugs are covering their faces is because they know that what they're doing is illegal. They know they're not professional. They know they don't follow the rules and the regulations. They know they don't give a fuck about the law. They know they're doing what they want. They know a lot of them are fucking deputized Proud Boys and deputized white nationalists and deputized Klansmen. They understand all of that. They know that the next time Democrats get in office, there could be massive investigations where all of these people go to prison for depriving people of their human rights and due process and their constitutional rights. Now, this is just one example, man. And as we go on here, it's gonna be just as bad. So this is in Texas. ICE is going to construction sites and arresting hardworking immigrants. This immigrant shows the officer a work permit, yet he's still detained. Here, watch the video. So for everybody just listening audio style on the podcast only, the guy is literally showing his ID. Here, I'll keep playing it here. I'll mute it. He's literally showing his ID. Like, hey, you know, this is legal. I'm legal. I'm doing the work that I was hired to do. There's nothing bad or wrong going on here. Look at this guy, another worker, hard at work on what appears to be a driveway, and you have a masked, armed ICE thug grabbing his arm and detaining him and depriving him of his freedom. I want to reiterate here, there's no evidence whatsoever that these people are criminals. Never mind even undocumented immigrants. There's no evidence they're even undocumented immigrants. And look at this. He's getting arrested even though he's got a fucking ID. I mean, these people did nothing wrong. These people are hardworking immigrants here who are being paid to do a job. What's the problem? What's the issue? I mean, guys, what they have unleashed in this country, what Trump has unleashed in this country is really fucking ugly. Trump has unleashed a wave of white nativism that it's hard to put that genie back in the bottle. Everything's going to crumble. Everything's going to fall apart. The economy's going to crumble. The economy's going to fall apart. Everything's going to get worse. And it's, you know, Crystal made this point the other day, and I think it's spot on. That, like, okay, well, they've been doing their crusade against non-white people now since the beginning of Trump's term. How's your life? Has your life gotten better? Oh, no, wait a second. Inflation's gone up. Unemployment's gone up. People's unhappiness with the economy has skyrocketed. So it's almost like immigrants weren't the problem. It's almost like trans people weren't the problem. It's almost like the problem is the billionaires. Like we fucking told you. It's the billionaires and the fascists and the warmongers. It's the Republicans. They're the fucking problem. It's almost like we told you that. And now it's being proven. If cracking down on immigration was going to improve everybody's life, well, and everybody's life right now should be fucking glorious. You should be living in a utopia. But you're not. You're not. And you need to stop and think why that is. Feds tell faith leaders no more prayer outside Broadview facility in a possible violation. Oh, please, it's definitely a violation of the First Amendment. Federal officials instructed demonstrators to stop holding religious gatherings outside the immigration processing facility in suburban Broadview after faith leaders were denied entry to the building for the third time on Friday. So now, by the way, where's the Republican meltdown over this? I seem to remember back at the beginning of COVID when everything was shutting down, including churches, I seem to remember the right flipping out and saying, how dare you try to restrict religion in this country? We have a right to go to church. We have a right to practice our faith. That's what they said. Now here we are, and it's the federal government saying, all of you anti-ICE protesters who are religious, you're not allowed to pray outside the facility. Now where's that talk? Where's all that talk now? Where are the right-wingers saying, how dare you try to restrict somebody from praying, from practicing their faith? That is illegal. That is unconstitutional. That is unacceptable. That is un-American. Telling somebody who they can and cannot worship or where they can and can't do that? Are you fucking kidding me? How absurd. Well, here we are. And the feds are restricting prayer, and you're not going to hear a fucking peep from Fox News. You're not going to hear a peep from the people who were screaming and crying and bitching and moaning when we were taking COVID precautions. Here's a video of federal agents doing a drive-by pepper spraying that hit a father and his 1-year-old on Saturday when the feds were hitting Little Village and Cicero. This video is wild. Watch this one. Literally a drive-by pepper spraying. They had no idea who was in that car. They have no idea what their fucking legal status is. They had no idea if they were, you know, criminals or not. I'm going to play it for you one more time. Watch this. Drive-by. Boom. Pepper spray. His window was open. It got him. It literally got him. Do you see it yet? Do you understand it yet? That when we talk about criminals, that it is the feds, it is ICE, it is DHS, it is Border Patrol. Do you understand that yet? Is that clear enough to you yet? Have I shown you enough videos that sort of burst this bubble? This idea that, like, well, if you have a badge and a uniform, you must be a good guy by definition. Has that been clear? I mean, shit, the Nazis had uniforms, right? Does that mean anything? No, it means absolutely nothing. I'm still not done. So here we go. This is an amazing story that was on MSNBC. Listen.
And I want to put it up on the screen right now. In a federal charging document, the Justice Department says that the Border Patrol approached Quiñones from over 100 feet or around 100 feet away. And you're watching this video from the Los Angeles Rapid Response Network right now that shows that exact thing happening. Quiñones, this is the Home Depot, by the way, around the corner from my house. He is in the far, far end of the Home Depot parking lot, about as far away, not only from the Day Laborer Center, where they were targeting and had arrested 5 undocumented immigrants, but from the Home Depot itself. And you watch them surround and box in Quiñones' vehicle right here. Even if the allegations against Quiñones are true, that he had a gun in the vehicle and he threw what the Border Patrol says is a rock-like object at the Border Patrol agents, it raises very serious questions about the Border Patrol's ability to care for a young child like the daughter of Mr. Quiñones. And I want to read to you a statement that his mother, once he was released yesterday, issued to the public to better understand how his daughter was treated by the agents that you're seeing on the screen right now. Let me read from it. She said, "When I picked up my granddaughter from the federal agents, she had a dirty diaper, a bruise on her face, and was developing a rash. She was exhausted and cried. My heart aches knowing this could happen to others, to my kids, or even me, despite being U.S. citizens. We're now questioning our safety and feel more vulnerable simply for being Latino. I fear for my grandkids growing up in a country that targets Latinos and profiles dark-skinned people. I hope things improve, though it's hard to imagine how it could get worse." What this brings to mind for me, Nicole, is the time I spent in the McAllen Border Patrol Processing Center at the height of the family separation policy. Those Border Patrol agents said to me then that they were strained and stressed and struggling because they are not trained as social workers. They are not clinical professionals meant to take little children away from their moms and dads, yet that's exactly what that policy did. Dana Sabra stopped that policy after 5,500 kids were taken away from their parents. Stephen Miller wanted it to be 25,000 using a process called administrative separations. You are watching those same types of agents, Border Patrol agents, basically effectuate family separations in the interior, in this case a U.S. citizen who is accused of a crime. But that does not negate the questions being raised by lawyers and others about how they are treating not only United States citizens, but little toddlers like the 1-year-old girl that's at the center of this story.
So understand exactly what happened here. Federal agents are claiming, oh, this guy threw a rock. Is there any evidence of that? None. Zero. Absolutely nothing. They go, oh, he threw a rock. Turns out he's a U.S. citizen. Turns out they drove off with a 1-year-old in the car. And then, as you heard from the mother, apparently dirty diaper, rashes, not cared for. Do you get it yet? Do you see yet what's happening here? Do you see who the problem is? And by the way, what is so immensely disgusting to me is of all the examples I've given you of federal crimes and federal overreach by the ICE Gestapo thugs, I haven't seen a single example from any Republican politician coming out and saying, you know what? That one may have gone a touch too far. Nothing. I've seen some Democrats come out and say, that's unacceptable, this is unacceptable. By the way, even among the Democrats, not nearly enough. But the Republicans, there hasn't been a single Republican that goes, you know what, that's unacceptable. You know what, that federal agent should resign. You know what, this one should be arrested. I mean, what is there to say when you look at stuff like this? This one, honestly, in my opinion, might be the worst. ICE violently tackles man with special needs for being, quote, non-compliant. Agents claim he refused to answer questions. Neighbors say he is nonverbal autistic. Quote, why they beating up this special boy? They should call a city doctor. He comes into my store every day to get a little treat. I love him dearly, but he has the mind of a child. U.S. Border Patrol Commander Greg Bovino was personally on the ground, joining ICE raids throughout the west side of Chicago. This incident occurred outside the Family Dollar location near the intersection of 26th Street and Millard Avenue in the Little Village neighborhood of Chicago, Illinois. All right, ready for this? Again, I'm going to warn you that this one is tough to watch. You can literally see that he's special needs by looking at his face. I can tell just from this fucking still shot here. I can see it. And they were assaulting a nonverbal autistic special needs guy. Watch this.
¿Cómo se llama, señor? Señor, ¿cómo se llama para poder buscar a su familia? Fucking pussy ass bitches. If y'all have the balls to capture someone with a knife, take it off.
These people need to be locked up, man. They all need to go to prison. Every single ICE agent that has partaken in stuff like this, every single one needs to go to prison. I don't even think it's a difficult question. I really hope that there's, legal experts out there and attorneys out there and prosecutors out there and, left-leaning people who are keeping a catalog of all of these instances, because we're going to need it. We're absolutely positively going to need it. There's no way around it. The Border Patrol official tasked with leading the Trump administration's immigration enforcement crackdown in Chicago admitted to lying about a rock-throwing incident used to justify deploying tear gas against protesters, a judge said. So isn't that interesting? We have the story of the guy throwing a rock that we just talked about, where zero evidence of that, but they arrested him. He's an American citizen, and took his 1-year-old kid and didn't change their diaper and didn't fucking treat them right, okay? Another, yes, they threw a rock. That's why we tear gas them. Meanwhile, it was a total lie. In fact, this is the one where we have them on video saying stuff like, let's tear gas them. Let's use our fun cans or something like that. I mean, this is who they are. They are looking for a fight. They are looking for trouble. They are looking to terrorize innocent people. That's what they're doing. Here's a far-right broadcaster named Josh Bernstein, and listen to what he says about ICE.
Let the mass denaturalizations begin, because that's what needs to happen. You can stop so much of this garbage just by doing that. And you know what? This also brings me to this. This is another reason why we've got to clean up our elections. We've got to make sure that these people are gone. We have to basically become the Gestapo, but for a good cause, which is what? Getting rid of people that are not supposed to be in this country.
We have to become the Gestapo, but for a good cause. For a good cause. Well, guess what, Josh Bernstein? I got some good news for you. ICE is already the Gestapo. 22 people have died in ICE custody. My guess is literally every single one of them died because of total neglect or torture. That's my guess. Is that none of them, just happened to have a heart attack or something because they're 82. And no. My guess is they died because of poor conditions inside these facilities. There are literal criminals joining ICE. People looking for violence. We covered the story the other week of a married 84-year-old couple that got assaulted to the point where the wife was bleeding. There's pictures of this stuff. We covered it on the show. I showed you the pictures. They shot not one priest, but multiple priests with pepper balls, and one of them, it was in the face. They tear gassed a baby. They ran over people with cars. They tear gassed journalists. They tear gassed cops. They zip-tied naked kids who were U.S. citizens and threw them in the back of a U-Haul van. They deported a guy for having cologne, and they lied and said that it was drugs. It wasn't. They tackled a 79-year-old car wash owner and hospitalized him. They are the Gestapo. And here are these idiots going, the problem with ICE is they haven't gone far enough. This reminds me of the Nick Fuentes line. Yeah, the problem is he's not really doing mass deportations. He's not really cracking down on these immigrants, these lowlives, these scum. This is what's been unleashed on this country. This shit needs to go back in the fucking closet immediately. Immediately. And we're going to fucking make that happen next time we take power. We're going to make sure this fucking sentiment never rears its ugly head again, ever. You know what this country was? Way too soft on the Confederacy. After the Civil War. Way too fucking soft. We were way too kind. Giving them a chance, right? Never should have. No fucking no second chance for Nazis. No second chance for the Confederacy. No second chance for fucking MAGA at this point. You're still riding Trump's nuts after all this? 37% of the country is still riding his nuts? No. You're the enemy. Trump's right when he says the enemy is within. He is the enemy within. MAGA are the enemies within. ICE pours large canisters of pepper spray directly into family car, hitting a 1-year-old baby. So the pepper spray already got in her eyes, you could see. They're trying to use water to clean it out. I think this is a continuation. Yes, this is a continuation of the video we watched. The baby's in the back, I guess, and got the pepper spray in her eyes. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. And then there's this, of course. A man ran to the Broadview ICE facility today searching for his wife of 5 years. They were following the legal process, showing up for her court case, when ICE took her to another courtroom, or to another room, and disappeared her. He tracked her phone to Broadview, where the signal cut off. Police told him to just look up her name online. He sat in a parking lot weeping, confused, with no answers. So this guy and his wife, they followed the rules perfectly. They did nothing wrong. And then she gets kidnapped, and he doesn't know where the fuck she is. And here he is, sitting in the parking lot, a completely broken man, trying to figure out what to do, how to get in touch with her, how to make sure she's okay, how to get her out of this predicament. All because Stephen Miller decided, I'm going to yell at and chastise a bunch of ICE agents and tell them, why the fuck are you going after the cartels? Why are you going after the gangs? Why are you going after the human traffickers? What you need to do is go raid the 7-Elevens and the Home Depots and the Lowe's parking lots. That's what you need to do. We care about quantity, not quality. And so, that's how we got to the place where we are right now, where over 90% of the people, probably over 98%, 99% of the people that they're rounding up, no criminal record whatsoever. Just regular people whose lives are being absolutely ruined on a regular basis. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.